Remember at that time in Palm Springs when we'd gone out on vacation. We actually I've told this part of this story, but of the vacation. But one of the funny things was when Al Strada had made out because it tickled me to death. Had made out a grocery list. But Mom, you tell how it kind of started and the way they did because out there someone would call it in and they would bring it out.
We called it into this little store, and they would deliver it. And Al had, they were going to go somewhere. We all were headed out somewhere, and Elvis said, "Come on now." And Al didn't have time to call the grocery list in, so he asked me if I would do it for him, and I said, "Sure." So I got his list.
They had phones back in.
Yeah, they had phones back then, believe it or not.
Such a...
They were, that kind, but or this kind, but anyway.
Actually, yeah.
I started down the list, and it was like we had corned beef, this bread, and we got down, and I was just reading it off, and I kept going down the list, and I was telling the person that was taking my order, and I got down, and I said, paper towels, shit paper, and then I went, oh my God, I mean, and because that's what Al wrote down. And so I just was reading it, and I said it embarrassed me to death. So when he got back, I had to tell him about it, and he laughed his butt off. He never let me forget about that.
Al
was a
funny guy. Yeah. He was a good person. I mean, boy, when he did stuff for Elvis, I mean, he done it quick, and he done it. Never left anything out. He never forgot anything. No. Boy, he just
Elvis
if he needed something, Al had it.
He said Elvis called him two-step.
Yeah.
He said if I tell Al to do something or ask him for something, it's like 1, 2 steps and he's back. He's that fast. He does it. So, but he was fun.
He liked to.
Yeah. I know one time too. Yeah, he loved. I know one time in Palm Springs, since Danny had mentioned it, we were out there and the plumbing stopped up in one of the showers, and me and Al and one of the girls, I think it was Pam Smith, I'm not sure, but anyway, we were plunging, trying to get the shower to unstop. And we had to roll our jeans legs up, and I remember Al taking pictures of us while we were over the thing. But we finally got it unstopped, and so we did our own handiwork.
Yeah, sometimes you had to.
Sometimes you had to, because Elvis would decide to go, and it would be like on the spur of the moment, and there was no advance, no time to get anybody, no maids, no cooks, no anything. So we just kind of.
Yeah, we just
did it on our own.
Yeah, we're just sitting around today. I was actually just talking about some of the stories, some of the guys and stuff. Another one was Charlie Hodge. Me and Joey was talking about him earlier. He used to do impressions of Jim Neighbors doing Gomer Pyle, and Charlie always
Don't
had.
forget Festus.
Yeah,
Festus.
Yeah, on Gunsmoke. And he actually was really, really sounded like him. We was amazed with it, but that was the way Charlie was. And you know, when he'd tell us jokes and on and on and on with him.
The problem with Charlie is the only bad thing is he tells the same joke 90 times over, just bam.
Well,
I mean, you can laugh the first.
If you
2 or
still
3
laughed,
times,
it was still funny.
That's right. But
but you only can fake a laugh
just
so many
Charlie.
times.
That's right. That was Charlie.
So,
He was.
But Charlie was a good guy. All of them were good guys, super guys. Yeah. He had a boat, and he used to take us out. We'd go out on his boat with him down at McKellar once in a while. Took y'all fishing.
Took me down the river.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mississippi.
took you down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Took me
He
down the
loved
river,
it. He
Mississippi.
loved it.
Charlie, he had a good laugh.
Yeah.
When him and Elvis got to laughing, you couldn't help.
No, you couldn't.
They both had just such a good laugh and all. Just all the guys were, in their own way, had certain things about them that were just,
every one of them
unique. It really was. I remember the first time I met Lamar. Gosh, he had driven all the way from California in a '56 Chevrolet Bel Air. I remember that. It was black and white. That's when Elvis, he had met Elvis once before on Ottoman Drive, and stayed at the YMCA, him and Cliff Cleaves, and he had driven all the way to California and to be out there with Elvis, and Elvis had him come back to Graceland, and he had drove all the way from there. Lamar was a cutter. He was, I mean, he had some stories, and he was quick-witted, you know. Then of course, you know, you got a lot of the others. You know,
every one of them, every guy that was around him though had a great sense of humor.
Yes.
And some were really dry-witted, like Mike Keaton. Mike was a great guy too. You know, you don't hear about Mike a whole lot. He wasn't with him a real long time, but Mike and his wife's name was Gladys. And Mike had a really great sense of humor, but it was kind of a dry sense of humor. But all of them to me were just crazy. Richard Davis, I mean, Richard was just in for anything and just constantly.
And Marty
Marty Lacker.
He was unique. Now Marty was a business-minded person.
Yes, he
Boy,
was.
I mean, if Elvis something he needed in a way done like business-wise, Marty was Johnny on the spot. He really was.
Marty could figure out a way.
Yeah.
And Marty had this thing about he never gave up on anything.
No.
You don't give up. You just keep on and on and on. And that's the way. I mean, we used to aggravate him because we'd go out to eat sometimes, and he would order, and he'd say, "Now could you bring me this and put it on the side, and I want this on the side, and I want this." And if the waitress said, "Well, I'm sorry, but we don't have that," he'd say, "Are you sure you couldn't go way back in the kitchen and look real hard?" And, and Patsy would just, cause she'd go, "Marty, they said they don't have it. My God, you know, forget it. Order something else."
That was just
that was just Marty.
Yeah. Another one, George, and all the guys was always good.
To Joey and Danny, they were always good.
Remember George when he worked at the radio station? You got upset. He sent us a
cup.
He sent us a WHBQ. He worked for was disc jockey for a radio station in Memphis, WHBQ, and
he would always send
I think it's like 56 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
WHBQ or something.
Yeah,
something like that. But he used to send me and Joey stuff. One time he sent a cup, and when I say a cup, I mean a cup.
It had
we had to share it.
It had GK on it. Call Elvis.
And they could have sent too.
Yeah. And Joey would aggravate him about that, but I mean he didn't think. But he like I said, he'd send us T-shirts.
Yeah, Joey told him about it. Joey, next time he saw you, he said, "Did you get your cup?" And Joey said, "Yeah, we got a cup." He said, "My God, are you that cheap? You can't send two."
It is what it is.
George said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I did." all the guys. Joe.
Yeah, Joe
was all of them were just.
Everybody had their own.
Yeah, Ricky,
everybody had their own thing.
And that as we were family.
And your cousin Gene. Gene when Gene was there.
Gene, you know.
And Alan. And Jerry, all of them, everybody just, and Ricky and David and Billy Stanley and Dean Nicopolis.
Gene was
funny.
Yeah, that was he was crazy about it.
Yeah.
Gene, I remember when went to Hawaii. Well, they all got off the boat, and they was putting a lei around everybody's neck and saying, "Aloha." Well, they missed Gene, and Gene said, "Aloha, hell, forget hi."
You know, we was talking to you. Remember the other day when we was talking about? Remember downstairs, in the basement, in the pool room, and with TVs and all are. And I remember there'd be sacks and sacks of crystals there. You know, we talked about. You said, Elvis would order them and get, and buy them for everybody. And we'd love to sit down there and eat. Crystals. They had ponchos. I know a lot of times chip and dip brought down, and it just. I just sitting and thinking, like, so there's a million things that you'll think about and remember.
Yeah.
But
I miss all of them. I miss Red and Sonny, and there was Dave Hebler and
Oh, speaking of that, that's been. I heard that the pool table.
Yeah.
So many people have asked me how the felt on the pool table got torn.
Yep.
Well, actually, it was Dave Hebler who tore it. He was trying to show us a trick shot that he had. He was quite good at pool. But this particular time he missed, and he ripped the felt. Oh boy, he looked around at me and he said, "Hey, man, I don't know what am I going to tell Elvis?" And he said, "He's going to have a fit." And he said, "Tell him you done it." I said, "Why me? Why I got to be the?" "Oh man, tell him he won't say nothing. You said you done it." So I did. I told Elvis I tore it.
That's how that got started.
It wasn't. Yeah, that's how that got started. But he wouldn't have cared even if he knew.
No.
Dave did it. Speaking of all this, we're sitting here talking, and I've had 2 or 3 Elvis fans asked about a question and answer session, or what was it?
Yeah,
Meet and greet.
Meet and greet.
A meet and greet, and we're looking. And like you said, that's something that we are looking into to hopefully maybe have something special at least by this August. In that,
if it can be arranged, of course, naturally we'll have to have a place where we can. And the first thing is up to the fans. If y'all would like that and would like for us to have something like that, if you would, you could contact us. If you got a group or just want to be there individually.
I guess what we're saying is give us some feedback on Facebook, on the YouTube, on our P.O. box, and we've been asked by so many, to do that, but we would love to do it, and maybe just this year have an old reminiscent get together.
Yeah,
with
one-on-one more.
Right. With the fans, and we're talking something where, we can mingle and talk and get, everybody can get a chance. We do questions and answers and just have a good old time. Like in the days. So we're gonna look at something like that. And with that being said, we got a few shout outs I think we wanted to do.
We didn't want to forget to mention too our good friends Sam Thompson and Dick Grove and their wives Louise and Melissa, and we always had a lot of fun with them. Our families
would
do
always pulling jokes.
Yeah, we were always doing jokes with them and crazy stuff on the plane. I know we played hearts, and what was the other game we played? All the way to Hawaii and back.
Hearts and spades.
Hearts and spades.
But
we just had.
I'd like to just give a shout out to 2 people that's.
Just 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got a lot, but 2. My neighbor in Tupelo, Mr. Curtis.
Yes, Mr. Curtis.
I appreciate you done a lot for me, and Miss Lee, we love you, Mama. And the other one is my buddy from Australia, John. I know, and I mean, we just met, but we're tight, and hey, I appreciate you being there. I know there's been a lot going on here lately, like I said, with my grandma and my surgery and stuff, and we hadn't got to talk as much as we have, but buddy, hey, don't think I don't think about you, and I appreciate you. Joey?
And 2, I love the hats. Love the hats, John.
Yeah. Me too.
And all, the boomerang.
But
and chicken salt. Gotta have more chicken salt.
And
chicken salt.
And I ain't gonna forget my girl. Hey, Paula.
And I'm not gonna forget Lynn Butler. The dish towels. Oh my God, they're great. I love them. I wanted to tell you before now. My mother's been real sick, but anyway, love them. And Katrina, Marie. I don't know how you do it, but thank you so much for the beautiful pictures. I love it. We all love it.
And I hadn't forgot you either, Katrina. I'm very slow at getting around.
Well, you've
things.
always been slow, but outside that, well,
Well, that's because he's
And Mickey
He's not
Scarborough,
blood.
thank you
Well,
for the
yes,
fan and
yes.
all the help.
Yes.
let- to all Elvis
Everybody.
fans, if all the people we know and everything else, and we know
Wait a
so
second,
many.
now,
That,
everybody got to say it but me. Like, just cut me totally off. I had 2 folks I wanted to do.
Go ahead.
Say it.
So just cut me off.
well,
real
pardon
quick.
me.
I tell you what, just because I'm the youngest, I mean, you know.
Dummy. I mean, no, youngest.
Youngest.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, give it to him.
Yeah. Candy, McNeese, the bobbleheads,
Yes.
Thank you.
totally cool. Totally.
Well, you ought to fit in with the bobbleheads because I love your head going like yeah.
And Cassie, wanted to holler at you, Cassie. And probably their last video.
Thank you, Candy, for
So,
love the bobbleheads.
Yeah, because it will be their last. The next time they're going to be talking with their holding their heads back from their eyes being swelled up.
No, you'll be
That's the-
seeing Joey with
And
his
for all the
nose.
ones that,
Yes.
if we had enough time, we'd mention everybody.
Everybody.
To all of you, we love you.
Love you
and
all.
Just remember,
Thank
we
y'all for
always-
being there, and we always.
live
Live
Elvis.
Elvis.
Boy, y'all
Messed
just
it
totally
up.
messed that
I'm
up.
telling
Screwed that
you,
one up.
he's
Oh, you know
Y'all
what?
want to try that?
Do it again.
Try
Everybody.
One more time.
Always.
Now you screwed up.
2, 3. We always live Elvis.